Welcome back to Dating 101. I'm Aaron Wood, your dating expert. That's right, because I went on hundreds of dates as a high school. No, I didn't. Really, I didn't. I'm no dating expert. What I am is I've been around teenagers for over 25 years, and I'm telling you, I have seen the good and the bad, and I've seen the ugly. And that's why we're talking about Dating 101. We talked about what dating is, how to date, and then last time we talked about red flags. And let me tell you, if you come across some of those red flags, it's all right to go ahead and break up. Yep, I said the word break up. Now I know breaking up is hard to do sometimes, especially sometimes when you are involved with someone else in a dating relationship and then their family really likes you and all that kind of stuff. And you say, oh, well, I really like their family. No, if you see red flags, or maybe it's just not working out, it's okay to break up. Tell yourself right now, it's okay to break up. Why? Because guess what? You're dating, you're not married. Now, if you're a married couple watching this, it's not okay to break up. But if you're dating, it's okay to what? To break up, because you're not married. But that's why it's important to follow the rules that we talked about and set those boundaries and to follow those boundaries that we've talked about before. Why? Because that way when you break up, you're still able to be friends. That's why we said be friends first. You know, over the years in church, we've seen this with teenagers. They start dating and maybe they cross some boundaries that they shouldn't have crossed, or they did some things, or they didn't treat each other with respect. And then when they break up, oh my goodness, they got to play the blame game. Why did they break up? Why did they break up? You know, it's inevitable in a church that you're around people all the time. They start going, oh, why did they break up? And the girl gets her friends to start blaming the guy, and the guy gets his friends to start blaming their, listen, forget all that. It didn't work out. No big deal. Just remain friends. But sometimes we see in the past that in church, those teenagers have not been able to stay friends because they didn't treat each other with respect, or they crossed physical boundaries that they shouldn't have crossed. And that's why we don't want to see that in your life either, because we don't want you to come and not be able to talk to the person that you are dating at one time, or to have a completely different set of friends now because you can't handle it because you've gone through a breakup. Second thing I want to talk to you about breaking up is that you don't want to burn bridges. Just because it didn't work out at the moment, maybe someone's not mature enough. Maybe you're at a different time in your life. Maybe you'll start dating again a little bit later. That's all right. That's okay. That's what's great about dating, is you can stop sometimes, and then if you want to pick it back up a little bit later, you can. But you don't want to burn bridges. Don't take away options of something that you might go back to in the future. Now, you might be breaking up, you know, and that's why there's so many famous songs in the top 100 about breaking up, you know, and people like to make it a big emotional thing. And I know it is emotional, and I know after you've been dating them for 4 weeks, you think that this is the one, you know, this is the one that I'm gonna be with forever, and then all of a sudden you break up. And listen, I'm telling you, it's gonna be okay. But you don't want to burn bridges when it comes to dating another Christian. Now, if you're dating an unbeliever, that's a different story. You shouldn't have been dating him in the first place. But if you're dating a believer, another Christian, then you don't want to make sure you don't want to burn bridges. Because why? You're just dating. You're not what? You're not married. Now, maybe you're not the one that broke off the relationship. Maybe the other one person did. Well, here, let me give you a little piece of advice right here. If someone else breaks up with you and you really like them, you're really attracted to them, and you're really sad about it, look, be cool. I'm telling you, don't walk around like a sad puppy dog. Don't walk around all depressed. Don't walk around begging them to take you back. There's nothing that will repel someone more than you going back to them begging and begging. Be cool. Go on, move on. There are lots of fish in the sea. I'm sure you've heard your parents tell you that. I'm sure you've heard it somewhere. There's a lot of fish in this. There's a lot of people in this world. And that's why I want to bust up a myth right here. And that myth is that there's only one for you. Oh, they're the one. Let me tell you, there is nothing we see biblically about what? The one. Now, we do know that God has plans for you. We know Jeremiah 29:11. We know God has plans for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. But guess what? There are many options out there for you. What if it is the one, Aaron? What if I miss out? You're not gonna miss out. You are not going to miss out at all. Are you reading His Bible? Are you serving Him? Are you praying? Are you being led by the Spirit of God? Listen, God's not gonna let you miss out on His plan for your life. And many times, oftentimes, sometimes we think we found something, but reality is Ephesians 3:20 tells us that God's able to do immeasurably more than all that we could ask or imagine. Faith is not nervous. Faith does not get worried. Faith does not, all of a sudden look around and say, oh my gosh, these are my only options. I got to make sure this works. No. Now, faith does have action. Faith does ask girls out on dates, guys. Girls, faith does make themselves available. In other words, you look the part, you make yourself look good, you're happy, you're smiling, you're nice, all those type things. Yes, faith does take action, but faith is not worried, and God will not let you miss out. I see this happen with young adults, not necessarily in teenagers so much, but in young adults. They get nervous because they think the clock is ticking. And hey, listen, you work on your faith in God. You take action in faith in God. You be the best Christian you can possibly be. Be nice to people, be open, be looking around, have some common sense, take some action, but don't be nervous. Don't worry. God will not let you miss out. So guess what? I know you don't want to hear it, but breaking up is not the end of the world. I know sometimes it feels like it. You think, man, I really like this person. Oh my gosh. Or you hear your song, the song that you guys like together, you hear on the radio, you're like, oh my gosh, that feeling, that emotion just comes back. I can't look at him anymore. Listen, let your emotions go away. Give your emotions some time. Smile, be happy, be a great Christian, be the person that God has called you to be, and you never know what doors will open with people around you. A person maybe you never thought you'd date, and all of a sudden a couple years go down the road, and guess what? All of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, that person is a great person, and I want to be around that person. So listen, breaking up is not the end of the world, not at all. But I want to tell you one more thing, and I'm going to share with you next time talking about what love is and the difference between the world's definition of love and God's definition of love, because it is completely different. Make sure and like and subscribe to our page. Make sure you turn on notifications so whenever a new video comes up, you can see it and you can watch it and you can learn from it and apply it in your life. And I want to see God's best in your life.